Hello, I'm Eric Jolly with This Present Moment, and today I'm meeting Shellie Rowe, the Housing Stability Program Manager for Neighborhood House. Welcome, Shellie. It's great to see you. Could you first tell our viewers a little more about Neighborhood House?
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you for inviting me. Neighborhood House is an agency that's been around since 1897, very rooted in the west side of St. Paul, but we've expanded to the east side in all of Ramsey County. We offer a ton of services. We have 2 food markets in the city of St. Paul. We have family centers. We have youth programming, early childhood programming, adult education, and one of our newest programs is housing stability.
So it's a full wraparound for the community, really making your participants whole as families and giving them a future that they can embrace wholly. Tell me about housing stability. What kind of work do you do there?
So in our housing stability program, that is it. We just want families to be in housing and to be sustaining and maintaining and even empowering to do more. We work within the housing court system here in Ramsey County. We work with evictions, we work with landlords, and we definitely work with the tenants or the participants to make sure they're up to date on their rent and understanding their rights. And so in housing stability, my work is really, let's get this resolved as quickly as we can. We're in crisis, let's make it work. And if a family presents with more issues or more things they want to work on, I'm able to refer to any one of the programs here at Neighborhood House to kind of offer that holistic view.
And housing stability also has a number of community partners with, is it legal services and others?
Yeah, we would not be able to survive without partnerships. SMERLS, which is Southern Minnesota Regional Legal Services, VLN, Volunteer Lawyers Network, Dispute Resolution Center, Ramsey County Human Services. Minnesota Housing is a huge partner with us with their FHPAP funding. And then other prevention providers here in St. Paul and in Ramsey County. We're all trying to network at this point and come together and be united to show that we want zero balances for people, and we also want landlords to get, what they are due as well.
So how have the current events impacted the community you work with?
Within Neighborhood House as a whole, we've seen families need more food. Adult education has switched a lot of their programming to virtual. Here in the housing stability world, Governor Walz has made evictions not happen for non-payment of rent. And so now we're seeing a lot of families come forward owing $6,000 to $8,000 in rent. So in my program, we have actually made it all virtual. A family can call in and do all the paperwork online. We can get to the end result, and we partner with Ramsey County Emergency Assistance. We partner with the landlords. We partner with other community agencies such as Community Sharing Fund to get to a zero balance. That's our goal, is preventing evictions here in Ramsey County.
I'm glad you mentioned the Community Sharing Fund. It's now in its 40th anniversary. It's one of my favorite parts of the programming that the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation does. Can you tell me a little more about how Neighborhood Houses use this resource?
Community Sharing Fund and Neighborhood House have been friends for a long time. And what I mean by that is it's our go-to place. I was talking to a family the other day. It was a single woman who has not worked since March and had zero income because she couldn't get her unemployment. She was behind on rent. The landlord, even though they can't evict right now, was really pressuring her, and her stress level was through the roof. Well, because Community Sharing Fund was able to contribute money, we were able to get her to a zero balance and get her going forward and not worrying about that past due rent, because Community Sharing Fund has been so impactful to our work.
Sometimes, for example, that fund has been used to replace a car battery so people get to work and earn the money to pay their rent. Have you got any other stories about the fund that you'd be willing to share?
So in the last few weeks, we've been able to get grants from Community Sharing Fund for an air conditioner for an elderly woman who really needed it for her unit and could not afford it, and it was a health condition that she really needed to get an air conditioner. Another case that came across my desk was a woman who was able to go to work, but she needed car insurance. And so because Community Sharing Fund was able to help with that 1 month, the participant is able to go to work, make enough money to support her family, and move forward.
I love when I hear the stories of what Neighborhood House does. I've watched it for years and have been inspired by it and what they do. But tell me, who inspires you? Do you have a story of someone in your community whose actions or resilience has gotten your attention?
For me, I draw my positivity and my zest for doing more from our participants or our families. The work we do is really just about partnering with them and then bringing in other agencies such as Community Sharing Fund to make it a full circle community holistic view going forward.
Are there any other creative solutions you've been implementing beyond Community Sharing Fund to make your work happen?
Yeah, so we have been working on this initiative to totally get everybody to a zero balance. And part of it is with our court work, but the other part is this very intentional work I'm doing with landlords. So we are going and talking to almost all the landlords here in Ramsey County, trying to network and get a hold of them. And we'll be offering pop-up crisis clinics, which means we're either going to do it virtually or go to the actual apartment buildings and work with families to get them to a zero balance, because it's a timeline that we're trying to beat before evictions can start happening. And a lot of our families don't have access to getting to places to try to get these needs met or being able to get the resources they need to stay stable.
How can people support your work and the community you work with?
Support would come in many ways. We always can use money, but support can be is just getting the message out there is let's pay our rent and let's do what we can to help each other do better. I would just love for people to kind of get to know us on Facebook. That's where our message goes out. A lot of our stories come out, so you can learn more about what we do. We're always welcoming volunteers to our table. And then also just if you have a special skill or you've been able to negotiate or work in a certain field, please come over to our side and see what you can do to help the community kind of build a bigger holistic community so we can all work together.
I love your passion and enthusiasm for bringing everyone in on this kind of work. Shellie, thank you for joining us in this present moment.